kind of what I'm getting at here. And still no turrets at all from Master, and no Goliaths. So what is he thinking when he's up against Arbiters? He knows that he's been bombed by shuttles, High Templars, and Zealots being put in them. And what is going on? And we've got an Arbiter hanging out and recalling troops straight over top of those tanks. We've got Zealots right into combat with them. That was a really pimp move there from Yun, and having to scan over top of them. This is what you get for having no Goliaths or missile turrets, as I was saying. But very, very good move there of Yun, actually capitalizing on his opponent's negligence there and making him pay for just not having any anti-air at all. And that was really cool. So this 12 o'clock expansion going up from Master is probably not going to be surviving very, very quickly. Shortly, yeah, he's taking it out. So back at the 6 o'clock, though, Yun, on the other hand, has actually secured his corresponding expansion on that side of the map. But we've got a lot of vultures here from Master, and they're sweeping in now to put down a lot of mines, or at least they ought to be putting down mines. No, he's retreating, not putting any down mines. Fine, fair enough. Maybe he was planning on just attacking, but of course with Arbiter there and no scan, well, you know, what can you do? So this seems to be some fairly inconsistent play here from Master, as I'm sure you guys will agree. We'll probably be seeing some good play and some bad play. I mean, that's what the general gist of things have been so far. Looking at the protoss, the upgrades certainly Protoss hasn't been upgrading his units very much. He's got like a +1 weapons or so on his units, and the Terrans are pretty much up to 2-2 at this point. So the Terrans should have a massive advantage here, but just due to various tactical things going on, the Terrans are definitely not gaining any advantages so far. And it's really going to come down to what happens later on in terms of response to these Arbiters. But we're going to be seeing recalls and stasis field and so forth really plaguing the remainder of this game unless Master can do something about it. And maybe if he gets some science vessels or something, that'll be cool. At least he can get detection, maybe get some EMPs off over these big clusters of Arbiters, and we'll actually see some good stuff happening here. But as it stands, he's just relying on tanks and vultures. Oh, there's a nice stasis, but unfortunately didn't pick up any tanks with that stasis, as you'd usually like to see with a good stasis. Master coming into position now with some more tanks, getting his vultures in the way, ready to block any kind of Zealot offensive. But we're heading in now, and there's a better stasis field, actually stasising one of his own Arbiters, though, which is a bit unfortunate. Mines going off all over these Zealots, but looks to be not enough Terran forces really to hold this off. The Protoss are actually managed to get the better of Master here. And yeah, losing all of his tanks, the rest of his reinforcements are way back up the hill. So again, he's going to be able to hit the 12 o'clock and just prevent the Terran from going to 5 bases. Well, he's really only got sort of 3... He's got 2 operational mineral patches, and that'll become a 3rd. So if the Protoss can keep him to 2, that'll be a big plus. Another stasis going down over the bulk of those tanks there, so really being quite accurate with these stasis fields, which is good. He's pretty much keeping his game alive here by doing that. And this Protoss momentum has been really good. He's been quick on his toes. His macro's been good, and he hasn't really made too many micro areas. He's made a couple so far this game, but generally they've been much fewer than you'd worry about. And now he's got that group of tanks surrounded. Once they are unfrozen from that stasis field, there shouldn't be much trouble for the Protoss army to deal with. But what is Master going to be able to do about this predicament of not being able to get his 12 o'clock? I'm not too sure, but his pitiful forces seem to be stasised every time every time the Arbiters head nearby. Every time he builds up a large enough group of units to be able to deal with the Protoss forces. He keeps trying them, and his macro's been alright. But he's just been plagued with various problems this game, and I'm just going to keep pointing back to the fact that he's had no anti-air. That's definitely something keeping him behind this whole game. But here come the Arbiters attacking the 12 o'clock again. We've got a lot of SCVs caught out in the open. It's a shame that Yun doesn't have any High Templars handy to actually storm them. But such not the case. And oh dear, we've got vultures actually sniping off a whole lot of probes heading over to the 6 o'clock. And that's a lot of kills there from those vultures. But unfortunately for him, there is a pylon wall as well as a photon cannon preventing that. We've got, looks like Master's actually completely run out of SCVs. Did you notice the Arbiter ominously looming above that natural expansion too? If he brings in a recall back there, then it's going to be very tough for Master indeed to stay in the game if he's losing all of his SCVs, or if he gets his factories taken out from a recall. But I'm surprised that Yun's not actually pulling off any more recalls, because he's got a lot of arbiters. He must have a lot of energy stored up amongst them. And yeah, I mean, who knows? But we've got a lot of factories. We've got a couple of armories there. I'm not going to be surprised if Master gets to 3-3 upgrades in this game. And I mean, maybe that's his plan, to steamroll the Protoss with 3-3, given the fact that the Protoss isn't expanding upgrades at all. If Master wins this, I mean, that'll be why. And we'll know it, because upgrades, 3-3 Terran upgrades, are pretty impressive. The Protoss definitely have a hard time, and especially if they haven't upgraded their own weapons and armor and even shields. You want to get +1 shields after you've sort of got to +2 weapons and armor, or +3 weapons and armor. Yeah, looks like we've got an Arbiter hanging around the 12 o'clock. The Terran's not sure whether he wants to lift it off or drop it back. Still no turrets out in the main field at all. But we've got an Arbiter heading up to the top left. Now this would be a serious recall right here. This would be nasty. And yeah, he's recalling it. He's even bringing in a couple more Arbiters. So it looks like the Protoss force is going to work. Storms off all over the probes. Ouch, that's like a whole base full of probes lost. And Master's bringing in all of the... and warping back out with recall. That's a really nice move. I've seen Noni do that, actually. It's really cool. Like, it's good that he actually recalled Arbiters in with him so that he could actually get back out again if he needed to. Actually, no, that didn't make sense, because he'd have Arbiters back at his base to recall. But yeah, well, let's just leave it at that, shall we? I just got a little bit muddled in my thinking there. But recall in, recall out. Kill the SCVs. That's the way it worked. And actually stomping the 12 o'clock again. So with all of these Archons being produced as well, this is looking really nice here from Yun. And again, it's just going to come down to whether he gets steamrolled by this large Terran force with 3-3 upgrades. I mean, that's what this game's going to come down to. But so far, the Protoss player has really been controlling this very, very well. He's been making a lot of very clever decisions, and has been making a minimum number of mistakes, if any. And looks like, again, heading back out into the midfield, and at the end of the day, it may not even matter about the large Terran force, given that the Arbiters, if they charge up enough, they're just going to be able to stasis everything, and it's not really going to matter. If you've got 3-3 upgraded Vultures, they're still not going to beat Dragoons in large numbers, if the Dragoons are nice and spread out and actually killing them before they can lay mines, as is often the case in big battles. And if we've got High Templars as well, that'll definitely help. But here comes, looks like it's going to be a significant battle here. We've got a Storm off over the bulk of Terran forces. Then we've got a Stasis going down over several tanks. The tanks are finally sieging up. Looks like this is going to be a pretty brutal fight here, but with the Arbiters here, and with Master being a little bit negligent in terms of the detection, this is going to be no problem for the Protoss, and most of the Terran forces actually being stasis here. So again, I'm not really seeing any difficulty here from Yun pulling this off, and if I am not mistaken, he's probably going to be able to win this game. I'm talking about Yun here, so the Protoss probably going to be and this is a deserving victory too. I mean, Master has not really played as well as I would have hoped, but Yun, on the other hand, has played very well. He had a nice opening build. He unfortunately didn't get the Reaver harass off, but he did get some excellent High Templar harass off this game. His defense from Vulture harass has been very good, and his use of recalls has been excellent. So just all-round performance, I would give this Protoss player an 8 out of 10, or even an 8.5 out of 10. That's Vol's performance rating of Yun FOU in this game. 8.5 out of 10, and My rating of what was his name again? Master, Ares Master. I've got to say, he's had sparked some highlights, but overall, I mean, with simple mistakes, I'd say I'm gonna give him a 6.5. not too high. I'm not too impressed. He could have done a lot of other things to really prevent a lot of the damage from being taken. I feel like it's pretty amateur, pretty elemental stuff really to get anti-air and do stuff better. Of course, I mean, if you'd made more plays like that beginning play with the race, I mean that stuff's pretty easy to do. It's just pretty ballsy. There's nothing particularly skilled about actually just building wraiths and clicking on cloak upgrade. I mean, wraiths are pretty easy to use in those sorts of circumstances. But there you have it. And top left base being lifted off. Yeah, guys, Jun's got this. I can't see Master coming back. So with this in mind, I don't think. Yeah, Master. He's got a few tanks in the center, but he's pretty much run out of bases now, and we've got Yun packing away at the 6 o'clock, and he's in full swing on that base, and recalling into the middle of the factory, so that's it. GG, guys. Master has lost, so TVP victory. Thanks, ScotiaGamers.net, for the replay of the week.